most of the stuff unless you're like trolling with that photo of MLK wearing the "Make America Great Again" hat.
Yeah, yeah. I do that sometimes to make people confused because it can't because you have two sides of differentiating opinions where Democrats say Martin Luther King was essentially the hero that it is, but they don't practice what he preached. They usually go off of Malcolm X's words instead of King's himself. They preached a right to assembly and actually being together, but instead they go with Malcolm X's Muslim ideas of violence in order to change.
I can agree with you there. I can agree with you there.
Of course, of
But
course.
yeah, man, how you doing? Where you coming from? My name's Graham, by the way. Nice to officially
Grams.
meet you.
Okay. Name's Deshaun. I'm out in Oklahoma mostly.
Nice. Oklahoma is doing a lot of great things I hear nowadays.
Yes, they
Especially, I
are.
heard some things that they're doing with Charlie Kirk and the high schools and the universities there. With they're gonna put that Turning Point USA over there, so that's gonna be a pretty good thing I think because Turning Point USA is important because it teaches people financial literacy. It's not all just about politics. It's about also
Mhm.
teaching the youth about financial literacy and different kind of important topics like that.
Of course, of course. Even with finance, they already have it implemented in financial literacy before Turning Point. They're just trying to expand on it even more
Do they
with
have good
Turning Point.
financial literacy? Do they teach people about like investing in the stock market and saving their money and stuff?
They do it more for investing money, not much more into the stock market. They usually do they do bonds and other ways of treasury bonds to make themselves a bit better. But honestly, they don't go further into that because they think stocks, and especially when you do options, that's more of sort of a gambling
Yeah,
than it
no, options
is
is pretty
investment.
dangerous to be honest with you. But no, I
Of course.
remember in Florida. I'm from Florida. We had some classes and such about financial literacy. But like, dude, like I remember we didn't even have an actual teacher like teaching it. All they said was, "Oh, well, we're required by the state to give you this course about financial literacy. Sit in front of this
They
computer screen and learn about stocks and bonds."
yeah,
And there
that's
was no
exact.
teacher to emphasize, how important this stuff was. There was no cares given in the world about saving your money or financial literacy. They just put you in front of a computer screen and said, pass these courses. And the questions the courses asked were, I mean, for me, I already knew about the stock market and
Mhm.
about bonds and stuff when I was in high school. So for
Yeah.
me, this kind of stuff was extremely easy to figure
And you
out. The
pretty much
questions
it's
were
pretty
like
much
no
they just
brainers.
pretty much gave you busy work essentially. It's like, all right, we don't want you doing anything, so just do this. We don't care if you know or not know. Suppose just get something done.
Yeah, yet they're gonna teach you all this other, bull crap that you really don't need. Like, do you like sure if you want to be a carpenter or if you want to do something like that, yeah,
Mhm.
you could use some geometry or if you want to be in the construction business. But why is geometry like a mandated class? I mean, maybe I'm just biased because that was like one of my worst subjects, but why is like geometry like a mandated class and financial literacy is like, a freaking briefing course where a teacher doesn't even actually teach it. They just put you in front of a computer and they're just like, here you go. Like, I think, financial literacy is, 100 times more important than, the Pythagorean theorem or whatever the hell, those kind of things in geometry.
I think it's both good and bad because me personally, I use Pythagorean theorem to play eight ball and hustle people like $20 out of the bar each and every single time because they
Hey,
don't know how
that
to
is
hit
something
eight
good.
ball in. It's nice, but also the reason why they put Pythagorean theorem is because they're using mostly they're using a common core basis on what needs to be done and what people think the kids need to learn before they graduate high school. Back
I
over
don't
at
know,
my high
man. I don't know
school,
how you feel about the Pythagorean theory. We can still teach that. I'm
yeah,
fine with
yeah,
that.
you
I'm
you
not
can
saying get rid
understand,
of
but
it,
usually
but
Pythagorean theorem is like more of a seventh grade to eighth grade level. Once you get past like the high school level, you're taking pre-calc, you're doing quadratics, you're doing shit like that to go and try and prepare for college, even though that may or may not be in your field. It's just more of a generalization of trying to get into an understanding of what the real world might be like. But honestly, I don't think it might be what it says.
yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying. It was just like a broad, random example. I wasn't like
Mhm.
actually considering any other
I
curriculum in
understand. I
school.
understand.
What the hell's up with Steven? Those weird comments.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Goodbye, Steven. No
and they're gone.
spamming allowed in the chat. Yeah, that's 100% correct.
Of course, of
But,
course.
there's definitely some news and stuff that we can talk about. What's your opinion on LGBTQ? Why does everyone always ask this? My opinion is people can do whatever they wanna do, but when it comes to the children, when it comes to letting natural born men in women's bathrooms, I'm completely against all that stuff.
I understand with LGBTQ communities and being on their own, but my problem is that why do they have to attack, or why do they have to fight back when you have statistics let's take example lesbian couples. Why is it that they only make up maybe 5% of all women, but they make up nearly 40 to 50% of domestic disputes?
I don't know, I didn't really know about this. I'm not familiar with this domestic dispute
It, it,
situation.
it's like using statistics to prove like somewhat of a point, kind of like how African Americans, they make up 13% of the population, yet 55% of the crimes.
Oh, yeah, man, don't say that. If I said that on here, they're gonna cancel me. They're gonna say, "A white
I know
man
they're gonna
saying
I
that."
know they're gonna cancel you. That's why I had to say it.
I mean, I think it's fine for you to say it, but when I say it, they're like,
That
oh
has
my
been
god."
proven wrong multiple times. Oh yeah, no, they forgot the numbers now. I think it's now 14% to 48, and it came on a recent FBI report from 2024.
That is true, but smash the like and subscribe button, and also, yeah, we can talk about why that's true. Many people will hear something that's a little bit controversial. Many people will say, well, the reason that they do 48, 50% of the crime, and they're only 12 or 13% of the population is because of poverty. Well, those crime statistics that we're specifically talking about are related to homicide, and last time I
And
checked,
usually
most
violent
homicides are not for
crimes,
financial gain.
eh, give or
Some of
take.
them are, a small percentage of them
If
are.
you shoot someone over $50, then yeah, it could be labeled as financial. But for terms of statistics, financial crimes would be anything over $1,000. Say, like for theft, is usually a landmark of worth a
So
thousand
what's
dollars
your
or
opinion? Why do you think the number is so high? Do you think it's just a bunch of people shooting each other over $50, or do you think it's something that's deeper than that?
I think before then, the African American community has been used as like a staging ground for experiments on the US government. Like, as stated before, Ronald Reagan did implement crack cocaine into African American communities to fund the
Hmm.
Contras out in the 80s.
I know
And
that
it
they
was,
didn't really know what it was. I'm not trying to say it's their fault
I,
or anything.
I
They didn't
understand.
understand what some of the stuff was, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you do take, a drug, it kind of is on you a little bit. But
Yeah,
I
it
do
is.
understand how it was pushed right in front of them. They're like,
Yeah,
"Here's some
of course, of
candy.
course.
Here's some candy. You want some candy?"
Like, yeah, of course, of course. But even then, even after all those conspiracy theories and such, you look at African American communities and you see these black people trying to get out of poverty, out of the hood. You see it with rappers, you see it with rich people, as with richer other African American folk, and they get stuck back into it. Actually, a good person is one of the rappers out of Chicago who had to cut ties with most of his friends because he was tired of bailing them out of jail, keeping themselves down within poverty, keep getting into the system. Instead of trying to actively better themselves, they get this crab in a bucket mentality to keep everyone else, their friends, their families, all down with them into these crime riddled areas.
Some people have these conspiracies about government and politics, but it's like not many people talk about the conspiracy that the FBI has connections to rap music to increase violence and destruction in the communities. I mean, that could probably be possible. I mean, you look at some of these people like 6ix9ine and all these other kind of rappers out there, and you really wonder like, are these people actually real people, or are they just like been working
I
with
don't
the
think they're
FBI?
I don't think they're FBI plants or informants or people. They're just, especially the case of 6ix9ine. They're trying to make a quick buck of like talking about themselves in a neighborhood and trying to exaggerate the light of how bad their neighborhood is, or how hard I am, or how gangster, how many guns I can flash at the camera, and be like this macho man, like, oh yeah, I'm a thug, I'm a gangster. It's the realest shit you could ever do. When in all reality, most gangsters and most people that get into gangs die at a really young age.
Or they
They
go to
die in
prison
their
and
mid.
get hit with a life sentence.
Yeah, like literally just like ounce of crack, bam, 20 years. At least in the state of Oklahoma, weed is legalized to a doctor's note, but still, if you have like, say, a trunk full of bricks, like just kilos of fucking bricks, you're going to go to jail. What black people don't understand is consequences of their actions. And it is a very good word of consequences. Because if you learn from your consequences and make yourself a better person, you could actually make yourself a better community or otherwise make the community even better. Hell, sooner or later, the slums of like O Block could actually be a paradise. It could be a gated community.
I mean,
But
it does
instead,
have a gate in O Block.
I mean, yeah, of course.
But,
But yeah, what's up?
yeah, no, I have some slides here I took off Twitter. We can, discuss
Mhm.
some of these. This is some
Okay.
recent news and whatnot, but slam
Mhm.
that like and subscribe button. Nothing is rage bait, fellas. If you have any questions, comments, just feel free to drop some super chats. Okay, what do we got here? Let me try to move off the screen for a second. Oh yeah, this guy's having an absolute meltdown over, the fake story of the criminal illegal immigrants getting deported by using the 5-year-old daughter to, bait the illegal alien father out. Which I really don't know the story, but apparently this guy's raging on TikTok. I mean, we
Wait a
can talk
minute.
about that, I guess, but I mean, I don't think that's real. I don't think they would use, a 5-year-old to convince, a father, an illegal immigrant father to come out. And so what if they did? They're just following federal law, in my opinion, whatever. Do what you want to
Actually,
do.
actually, I saw that man, and that man is not raging because of the father and such. That man is actually raging because of what happened with H-1B visas, to where the fee for H-1B visas, instead of it being $1,000, is over $100,000, and it's mainly going to affect the nation of India.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you straight up. My personal opinions is, I don't want Indians coming to replace American jobs. Like, these are not extremely high paying jobs as it is. These should be going to, Americans.
They're going for blue collar work jobs, trucking, maybe in the office space and such. They're not actively trying to be CEOs because if
No,
they
I know they're
were,
not trying to be CEOs, but Americans should be prioritized for their jobs. I mean, do you agree or do you disagree?
I agree that Americans should be for American jobs, but what I'm getting at is why are nations, peoples from other people's nations coming to the United States, and instead of going back and making their nations better, they just stay here in the United States.
Exactly, and then they'll claim to you that their country is so amazing, it's better than America. At the same time, they don't want to leave the country.
It's always a joke where India is going, like you see these YouTube like thumbnails all the time. India's superpower by 2035 or something like along the lines of that. And it's just like the most outlandish, far-fetched idea that could possibly happen. Like just like the first prompt that happens is total collapse of China. It's clickbaity, but it's also a meme in itself.
Someone dropped an
Well,
interesting question. Should migrants be able to get driver's license? Well, if you're talking about illegal alien immigrants, absolutely not. There was an illegal Indian truck driver in Florida, and he got his license, his CDL license from California or Washington, one of those liberal blue states. And unfortunately, he unalived 3 people by doing a U-turn on a
uh,
turnpike in the middle of the
illegal
highway.
U-turn, which makes no sense. He just like just
Like,
driving
this is
through.
not Bangladesh. That's not how you
I ran
drive
someone
a
over.
fucking
Oh,
truck.
okay, whatever.
Not to mention, he barely knew any English. You should not be able to get a driver's license if you don't know basic English.
I think they just gave out the driver's license. Said here,
Literally, like,
you
my
look brown
friend's a
enough,
truck
good enough.
driver. He's been a CDL driver license teacher. I don't know how it is in those states, but it's not like that in red states whatsoever. But still, 6 likes, guys. We got 255 people in here. Slam that like button. You guys don't hate us that badly. But are you in Cleveland, man? No, neither of us are in Cleveland.
No, Cleveland. What? Oh this. No, I'm just a Cleveland Browns fan.
Oh, okay.
I yeah. Don't
I
be
didn't
a
even
Cleveland
notice your
Browns fan,
hat.
please. It's hell. It
This
really
is
is.
crazy. All these radical liberals are all talking about the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. These people are extremely radicalized, bro. This is what they tell you about Antifa. They say they're not normally violent or an extreme group. And meanwhile, they, put Turning Point USA. They're an extremist and hate group. Like, you really want me to trust anything that the ADL has to say?
Do you want to know how the ADL was created?
Yeah, sure. I actually don't know, so you can educate.
Okay, so the ADL was created back in 1913 for a murder case for a Jewish man named Leo Frank, who was the owner of a pencil factory. What happened is Leo Frank had raped a 12-year-old girl and had killed her. And instead of trying to own up to it, he decided to blame on the black guy night watcher who said that he was the one who murdered the little girl. Well, when it came time for the court case to happen, they could not pick who murdered who. Was it Leo Frank or was it the black guy? So what happened was is that they convicted both of them. The black guy was going to be sentenced to 2 years, even though he was the night watcher and just okay back and forth. He didn't do anything wrong. 2 years. Leo Frank was going to get the death penalty. He was going to be convicted to death. So
Jesus.
this was back in 1913. So a bunch of Jewish lawyers from New York came down to Georgia and essentially said the testimonies of the women, the 12 women that had been sexually assaulted by Leo Frank, was a complete conspiracy and a bunch of liars. The black man is just the N word. He is subhuman scum. He does shouldn't exist. And the entire Georgia court is just a bunch of racists. It didn't convince anyone. And it and even with that court case, they decided to free Leo Frank. So the entire populace, and this is how the Ku Klux Klan decided to come back or rise again, because they didn't come back for the black man. The Klan came after Frank and lynched him because the
Well, they're
Georgia
also
courts,
anti, they're against Jewish people as well, but
yeah, they defended the black man because of a Jewish man who lied his way through courts of raping a 12-year-old girl, which that's actually, you can actually go on the ADL's Twitter page and see that they have a commemorative of like the unlawful killing of Leo Frank. And
that's crazy.
all of the comments are disabled because they just pull up the real reasoning of why he was actually murdered.
So the
They didn't murder
ADL
him
has been, a horrible organization from the very
from
start.
the very start.
But if we're using this word again, let's use the word grape. Let's keep it YouTube friendly. I mean,
Great.
this is a
Okay, my
channel
my
for
apologies.
eight.
My
No, it's okay.
apologies.
It's okay. You didn't know. It's a plus. If there's any kids watching, I mean, this is an 18 plus channel, but I mean, I
Okay,
can't really
yeah, Leo
control who's
Frank
watching.
gorillaed her. They used a gorilla on her, essentially. So with that case, they decided to with that case also brought back the Georgia chapter for the Ku Klux Klan because the Klan had been this was the Klan the first time it came around was irrelevant after Ulysses S. Grant disbanded them and pretty much the federal agents cracked down. This court case launched the revival and was credited to the rise of the second Ku Klux Klan, to where where you pretty much have marches down Washington. The ADL is responsible as a hate group for pretty much anything that they deem is Nazi or pretty much
Oh, so
right.
they're pretty much a hate group, but they're telling us that Turning Point USA is an extremist group and that Antifa is good, that they're not violent and they're not malicious in any way. That is disgusting. Hit the like button, guys. Slam that like
It's all
button.
lies. Hit the like button, folks.
All
Smash that
Democrats.
subscribe.
I don't know if it was all Democrats, but it's definitely some bad fucking corruption. I mean, considering what they're saying right now, this is definitely some Democrat shit. I mean, Outcast Sage, if you're watching, don't think I didn't hear about what you said about Charlie Kirk. You said that he deserved to die because of Donald Trump's rhetoric. So if anyone wants to leave, some
That's just
messages for that
stupid.
man, you can go and do that because he said that. He said that in the Discord. He said Charlie Kirk deserved to die because of Donald Trump's rhetoric. I mean, he's repeating Destiny talking points. That is disgusting. I mean, do you think Charlie Kirk was a racist?
I don't think Charlie Kirk was a racist, but I do think that some things that he said could be perceived as racist, but
Yeah,
usually
I
were backed up
understand
by
that.
but they were usually backed up via statistics. Like one of the examples was about abortion, where abortion is usually for black women who usually got the most amount of abortions. So essentially, he proved the point that the American government wanted to get rid of black people as much as possible by proactively advertising abortion to African American women.
which
And
is
so,
statistically true, but they'll call you
yes,
racist for that. And also,
exactly. They'll call you racist for proving them wrong. They called me racist. They called me a Nazi. Honestly,
oh my god, dude, you're
and
far
and
from
I
a
had and I
Nazi.
had and I had to tell them what's a Nazi, what's a fascist. They couldn't answer.
Dude, they
They were
will
just
call a literal Jewish person that loves and accepts everyone, black, brown, everyone. They'll call him a Nazi for, driving a Tesla or supporting Donald Trump. They'll call you a Nazi. All a Nazi means in 2025, that means that you like
I don't
how,
like your
you
opinion.
like Trump or you like Elon.
Mhm.
That's
Actually,
all it means. It's lost all meaning and relevance whatsoever. And
actually,
anyone, referring to the ADL obviously is a complete, radical leftist. I mean, I had a guy yesterday that said, "Well, the ADL said." I'm like, "Are we really gonna sit
we're
here
gonna
and
go.
talk about the
We're really
ADL?
gonna go with ADL.
Like, are we
Alrighty
really
then,
gonna
cool.
go with this racist?"
Let me pull up Black Lives Matter. Let's see how this one works out. This is gonna be fun. Actually, speaking of ADL, what are your thoughts on Israel-Palestine?
Oh my God, here we go again. Well, I'll
Uh
just
oh.
put it
Did
like
someone?
this, huh?
Mhm. Let me guess. Someone already asked you this question. I feel like it's a recurring like
No,
theme.
I'm sure you heard him in the Discord. He was probably sitting there yapping about it. My personal opinion is that we should end the war, we should end the conflict, and I don't think Hamas will end the conflict. And I don't know. Did you see what happened with Benjamin Netanyahu or what he said about the peace treaty?
I tried to look into it, but
It just
I
came
was just
out
about
with
to.
Donald Trump. They agreed to do a peace treaty. They said all we got to do is agree on this peace treaty. If Hamas can just agree to this peace treaty, we can end the war, and that can be that. But he also said that if they don't agree to ending this war, that he's going to eradicate them. Which whatever. If you're gonna, I don't really support radical Islam, to be honest with you. That's not on the list of it's genocide. It's genocide. What about the 100,000 Christians that have? I believe it was in Nigeria that are getting slaughtered right now. Do people not care
Lebanon.
about that?
Lebanon's one of them. Syria's one of them. Most of the Arab states are crucifying Christians and getting rid of them.
Yeah, they refuse to talk about the Christians being crucified, but they want to talk about how 60,000 Palestinians got unalived because they literally attacked Israel on October 7th, and Hamas is like running. I feel bad for Palestinians because it's not really their fault, man. It's
It's
more
not
of
their
like
fault. I mean, it kind of is because they did vote Hamas into power by but it was like a 55% vote, so it wasn't really much. It's just that Hamas was like a more unifying power. I think they rigged an election to make Hamas into power. If you think about it,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It sounds like you're more on the side of Israel, but like I said, I'm not for the any kind of wars or whatsoever. I just believe in ending the conflict that's going on. It's really that simple. Like, why would I say that I support either side really? Because I'm not.
I
I have never been to either one of those places before, and I don't have any connections to Palestinians or anyone. No one in my family is from the Middle
Mhm.
East or from no one in my family is Islamic or anything like that whatsoever. I have no connections. And personally, my personal opinion is I believe that Free Palestine is actually a cult movement. I mean, I don't like to use the word cult too much because they use it against us as well. But
Mhm,
when I mean
mhm.
a cult, I mean that they're not really about what they're trying to say. They
I
say Free Palestine is a movement to free Palestine. I think it's a movement to radicalize protest and try to create civil distress and civil war in Western societies around the world. I mean, we've seen this how it's happening in the UK, Australia. They're all
mhm, of
creating, civil
course, of course.
unrest and civil
What
violence.
what's going on right now is media circles and most medias around the world are using an anti-white rhetoric. Like if you are white, we are going to black castrize you and pretty much make you the enemy. And people are starting to realize that the media is just anti-white. I really hope that Israel can find a solution, but Israel is making it very, very hard to support them when they are going into the West Bank to create their own settlements. They're creating illegal apart. They're creating separation and illegal.
I'm listening. I'm listening. You're there. You're frozen now. I think he's frozen, guys. But smash that like and subscribe button. If you have any comments, questions, free Israel from Hamas 110%. 110%. Yeah, he froze. They silenced him, guys. But smash that like button if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about. Drop some super chats. We're here to listen to it. We're here to discuss. That's exactly what we're here for, guys. So slam that like and subscribe button. He's frozen. I don't know what's happening with him. Let's see, what else do we got over here? We got multiple things. I like this one right here. I believe that I'm a frog. You must also believe that I'm a frog. If you refuse to believe I'm a frog, you are afraid of me and you are full of hatred. Oh, damn, what the hell happened to him? Did his phone overheat? Did his phone overheat? Smash that like and subscribe button. Or they just kicked him out altogether. I have no idea. Well, that's definitely interesting. They definitely got him. Well, if you guys have any comments, questions, anything you want to talk about, drop some super chats, guys. Would be much appreciated. Happy Monday. Bill Clinton on illegal immigration in 1999. Today's Democrats would call him a far right extremist. They very much would. They very much would. What does this one say? Oh, that's the same one. Oh, guess what? Donald Trump sued YouTube and he got a $24 million settlement for the suspension of his his YouTube channel. Also, they just apprehended another madman that was trying to break into the White House. Throw the books at that man. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything you guys like to talk about, discuss, you can drop some super chats. I'll read it out loud. I'll discuss. Hell, if you guys want to see me do 300 to 400 push-ups, I'm down to do that as well. Drop a $20 super chat. But yeah, guys, let me know how everything's going. January 6th was a Fed surrection. There was over 300 undercover FBI agents there inciting violence. 300 to 400, Mr. Alex Gold, but you have to drop a $20 super chat. Hello, Jimmy. How are you doing? How are you doing? Not 3 to 400 push-ups, but you gotta drop a $20 super chat, fellas. You gotta drop a $20 super chat. Why do I love guns? Because, our Second Amendment and guns are also amazing. Does anyone in here actually want to have a discussion or debate? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All you gotta do is drop a $20 super chat. I'm up for it. Or if anyone wants to support the channel, now is the time. You can join the membership to support the channel, guys. It's almost the end of the month. If you want a shout out, if you want me to say anything, if you want me to read any questions out loud, you can drop some super chats. Free Israel from Hamas. It's amazing. It is fantastic, fellas. It's no regrets. It's no regrets. Anyone can be MAGA. It's not about race or religion. Yes, Nathan, please, bro, give me a $20 super chat. You're 100% right on that. Please, bro, smash that like and subscribe button. Nothing about them makes me upset, but I don't need to support, that long list of group of things. I believe in libertarianism and they can do what they like. Trump is amazing, fellas. He's amazing. He's the right guy for the job. This guy is crying right now when ICE called him a wuss wuss for not, letting ICE do their federal job. It's really that simple. ICE just needs to deport as much illegal immigrants as possible. It's really simple. He's ended 8 wars now. If this war goes through, South Park is still hilarious. Nothing has changed. Hey, much appreciated. If you love this hat, smash that like and subscribe button. Oh, here we go. He's back, fellas. He's back. All good, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, no. The YouTube did not take me down because of my comments. Trust me,
There,
they did not take me down. My phone just died. Forgot to charge it. My bad, my bad. Anyways, what's the new topic?
This new topic is this Broward View, Illinois police chief is melting down on live TV after he says, ICE agents called him a coward to refuse to enforce federal laws. He's having a mental breakdown because a bunch of ICE agents called him a coward because he doesn't want to enforce immigration laws. What do you think about
Um,
that?
Illinois is a very weird state, especially Cook County, Illinois. It is a very weird state where it pretty much makes it's a hotbed for liberal ideas, of course, and they get exercised. But with those liberal ideas, when you try to go for policing, it is very, very, very hard to try and police. Like
I
when
mean,
you
why
try,
why were they saying that they didn't need the police or they didn't need the National Guard when they had 8 people die on Labor Day weekend and like 56 shootings? That makes zero sense to me. I mean, I don't even understand that logic right now. Are you just trying to defy Trump?
because
Is that
I,
your
don't- I
only?
because the reason why is they're probably making money on their own, but since the federal government is deciding to crack down, they're trying to resist, and it's not working out very well. Like I understand trying to make a balance between state and federal level, but federal level trumps state at that point. Like
Yeah, in
if you have
Illinois, you
federal
have to
agents
get
come
a
in, yeah, you're pretty much done. You can whine, bitch, complain all you want to, but at the end of the day, the feds, they're not nice at
I
all.
mean, what do you think's going to happen? Or do you think that this is going to turn into some giant protest against Trump, or do you think that they actually are going to be able to use the National Guard every single place? I mean, we've seen them, but they haven't been, actually doing too much crazy protests. I
They
mean,
can't do any, they can't do anything because people are starting to realize when you go up against federal agents, you don't go to state prison. No, 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 no. You go to the feds. You go to prison.
I
Minimum five
mean,
years.
I heard federal prison is better than state prison, but honestly, I don't know. That's a whole nother discussion.
It depends. Honestly, I couldn't tell you because I'm not a career criminal.
Jimmy says, I think we have no business in Israel, Hamas, Ukraine, or Russian wars. They didn't affect us. Worry about us. Simple. I 100% agree with that. I support defunding any foreign wars whatsoever. Do I think that's going to happen? Do I think we should ignore our allies like Israel? No, I don't think we should ignore them, but I don't think we should give them, stacks full of cash either.
All right. I will say this. I don't think Israel is our ally, but we are helping them out. I don't think
Well, they do
Israel is
give
our
us
greatest ally.
intelligence. They do have the best intelligence agency in the world, and they have shared, intelligence secrets with us. But that's a whole nother debate.
It is.
Um,
It's a whole nother debate.
but
But yeah,
I also wanted to point out
supporting out
some
Ukraine.
racist comments that Don Lemon has said, but I'm trying to find them in the screenshots. Well, here's another thing we can talk about since this is the next slide that popped up.
Hmm.
After meeting with Chuck Schumer, JD Vance believes there will be a government shutdown as Democrats demand free health care for illegal immigrants. So, this is about the budget bill. They have that
Hmm.
budget bill that they're trying to do. I mean, everyone was crying at the top of their lungs about the big, beautiful bill and how it would put us, in like 5 to 10 years, it would put us $4 trillion more in debt. And
Hmm.
now, the Democrats don't care about giving $1 trillion in healthcare benefits to illegal immigrants. And the government's going to shut down. I mean, I don't know what to say.
What Democrats are trying to do is they're not trying to be some, and a majority of them are just trying to not be bipartisan whatsoever. They're not going to try and go across the aisle. They're going to stamp their foot down because they all hate Trump and they all hate the new administration until they get something of what they want.
I mean, I just criticized Trump about, funding all these wars a bunch of times, but can
Mhm.
Democrats criticize their party? I don't think so,
No,
but
because
Trump
they get
isn't
no, they
perfect.
get
No
kicked out. They
politician
get
is
kicked out.
perfect.
And honestly, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I wanted to be a Democrat in 2024, but the problem is that Joe Biden was getting too old. The Democrats were infighting with each other, and when Kamala Harris came up, she only well, first things first, people are going to say, "Oh, Harris only had 100 days." Well, what if she had a whole year? What was her policy going to be? Was it going to be the same as Biden's, where everything just goes up and everything else gets cheaper? As soon as she said, "Oh, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to follow Joe Biden." Like, no, like we're already struggling and such. I'm going to go switch to Republican
In
because
my
if
mind, her main policy was running to, continue the murder. Her policy was basically murdering babies. She said, "We more abortion. We need to bring abortion. We need more abortion for women." And then her other policy was like, "Oh, we're gonna give you like a $20,000 tax credit to purchase a home." I mean, what is that gonna do? That's gonna make every single. That's
oh
gonna make every single
20,000.
home price go up.
Oh no, $20,000. Oh dear. It's not like that's 1%. Actually, oh, here in Oklahoma, we have the cheapest amount of housing possible. Like the house that I'm in right now is around 180,000. It's around 3 rooms, two bath, and like two big living areas. Of course, that's $180,000. Mind you, I got
Yeah.
it with like 90,000. It was $90,000 like a few years back, but the price has doubled substantially. A $20,000 tax credit in red majority states were like cheap housing, like somewhere like 500,000. It's gonna be nice, but if you're going to like New York flats or like studio apartments in California, that's chump change.
I mean, first
That's
off,
like
it's not even cash. You can't even use it as an actual down payment. I don't even understand how this policy would work. She didn't run on any policies, and to be honest with you, I'd rather just, Sleepy Joe stay in office if I had to choose between her and I mean, at least we know that Joe Biden wasn't really running the country. We saw he had dementia.
yeah, of course, they had to step him down, but instead, I don't know. I don't, and besides, even with the next election coming up in 2028, Trump's going to be gone because of because of well, two-term limit, of course, which I think we should have limits in House and Senate as well.
Yes, we absolutely should have limits in House and Senate. I 100% believe that. But we also got Don Lemon here talking about demonizing white people, says that white men are broken and believe uh, violence is the answer. White people don't believe violence is the answer. What are you talking about?
You got to remember why Don Lemon got fired from CNN is because of the rhetoric that he's spewing out right now. And instead of having to learn within himself of why did I get fired, he's just going to keep saying the same shit over and over again because that's his media training. That is the only thing he knows about.
That's not
And
even the worst thing he said.
instead of looking about white people, why is he not looking at black people? Why is he
He's
looking at
now
his
also
communities?
calling the white man lazy and dumb. You know what the funny thing is? He likes to screw white men in their ass. So what the hell is he talking about? Like literally, this man is known for dating white guys. So I
Mhm.
mean, like, why is he talking? Like, what the hell? What kind of white man is
He's just
dating him?
trying to be at this point, he's just trying to be relevant. He's just trying to be like the next Jimmy Kimmel ever since he got like axed and then came back in just to get some views. He's trying to make shitty talking points where everybody knows it's just fucking bait.
I mean,
It
dude, this is
honestly
straight
is.
up racist. White men are lazy and dumb.
No,
Are you
yeah,
kidding me right now?
exactly. And he's not gonna get canceled for it. He's not gonna get like publicized over it. I mean, yeah, it's coming to light of like what the shit he's saying is completely and utterly stupid. But if you just ignore him, he's just gonna be falling out of relevancy and actually get a 9 to 5 job.
I don't know, man. He's worth a couple $1,000,000. I don't think he's gonna be getting a 9 to 5.
Eh, eh, we'll see in the future.
Well, we'll see. You just see him driving an Uber. You're like, oh, hey.
Well, wait, who are you again? I feel like I
If I
remember
seen
you.
him pick me up in an Uber, dude, I'm canceling that Uber. I don't want someone driving me that thinks white men are lazy and dumb.
Nah, that's why you filter out and only do women only drive.
Oh no, hell no! Is that
They
actually an
have that.
Oscar
They
that
actually
movie
have
has?
that feature. Yeah, it's the stupidest fucking feature
They actually
because
have that?
yeah, they actually do. I actually did take it in the when I was like down in like Oklahoma City and such. They did actually have a feature for a woman only driver,
You know
even
what?
though
I'll
it was
actually
like
defend this one. I will say
it
that it's
was
probably good for other women that might feel safer around women drivers, but for men, uh, I mean, unless you're a creep, you're not going to order a woman driver.
yeah, of course, but I could be getting it. I think I got it. I think I got it confused. I think it was only either men only, but it's still like separation of sexes, and I feel as if there's going to be an up and coming lawsuit on that. Or I think
Probably.
there already is. Because
What is the next slide?
it'd be like saying like you can't hire men at Hooters or Twin Peaks, you know?
I mean, do they hire men at Twin Peaks? Not really.
Nope, exactly. Let's see here. What's going on with the
What is going on
boomers?
with boomers? Why are all these boomers at protest and talking about Elon Musk? I mean, aren't they the one that created the wealth separation gap? Shouldn't they be giving some of their millions of dollars if they're protesting against, capitalism and Trump and Elon? Shouldn't they be giving us some of their money?
No, because they're spending it all at the casino. Just
Probably.
press that slot machine. Just press the slot machine. They're already done with their lives. They're just trying to enjoy it as much as possible. What my question is why are millennials and Gen Z pressurizing boomers into forcing them into retirement homes?
That's also disgusting. I disagree with that. I think people should take care of their family, but
I understand like the housing market being bad and like all of the housing going up, but
I mean, a
instead of
retirement home
actually,
costs a freaking fortune, man. I think it would be probably cheaper just to keep them at your freaking your house. But how should I know?
yeah, of course, I think the people that are arguing on trying to get the elderly out and into nursing homes probably didn't grow up with a father.
I mean, Bernie Sanders should go to a nursing home. Voluntarily, though, of course.
I wanted to vote for Bernie, but the fucking DNC decided to kick the old man out.
Wait, does Bernie even have any children? Maybe I'm uneducated
He
on this.
I don't know honestly. I think he does, but it's just kind of
No, I'm curious. We gotta look this up because I've never seen Bernie's children before.
You don't see them honestly. You don't see a lot of politicians with their children and such unless you absolutely know like they have families. All right.
Okay, no, he does have some sons, I believe. Levi Sanders.
Levi's okay, yeah. Let's see
Okay,
here.
we can
Let me
probably disagree on this. I think
mhm.
Bernie Sanders is a con artist because he preaches socialism and giving away wealth. Meanwhile, he's riding on a private jet. He owns 3 homes, but he's preaching socialism. I don't agree with that.
I mean, you can also say the same thing as megachurch pastors preaching the word of God, but they're flying around in golden private jets.
Oh, absolutely. Megachurches are horrific, dude. Don't get me started.
That's because for some reason, and this is just an American thing, in the United States, people go for the sermon instead of actually going for the word. They go for the word of God or what the sermon chooses to be the word of God, and they just keep donating and donating and donating. And
Let
especially,
me make this talking point real quick because we have
yeah,
my
sure.
buddy Falcon Man. When are you gonna come on the stream, man? I've been calling you. You just don't answer. I just see you're on Xbox. You don't want to come on. But I'm not saying socialism is anti-consumerism. What I'm pointing out is he's preaching that mega millionaires and mega billionaires should give away their money. And in my opinion, he's a mega millionaire. I mean, he might not be worth 200 million or even 100 million, but he doesn't need $6 million. I mean, his some people estimate his net worth is between 5 million and 30 million. My personal opinion is probably around 20 to 30 million because he has 4 million in properties alone, and you need a lot of money to maintain those properties, and not to mention cars, vehicles, all this other stuff.
Mhm, mhm. Hold on, I saw something in the chat. How do you feel about JD Vance being a Peter Thiel plant? Well, the thing is that Peter Thiel isn't human. Even if you
Oh
look at
my
his interviews,
gosh.
he is pretty much the biggest billionaire that mindset that you could possibly think of. He's using his own world as a background. Now, using JD Vance as like a shill, I don't think so. I think there's better, dumber people to think like Vivek Ramaswamy from Ohio,
Oh, you
or
don't
I
like
could put
him? You think he's more of a
Vivek.
show for Peter Thiel?
Vivek, he tried. He's the one that advocated for H-1Bs, and he's been bitching about it because he wanted to import as many Indians as possible for
Yeah,
his
no,
Silicon
I
Valley
don't agree
sector.
with him on that. That was kind of where he lost me. Other than that, I kind of did like the guy, but when it comes to that, I'm like, fuck no, dude. I don't want America to become the new little India. I
He
do
was
believe in
great.
allowing people to come in the country legally, but I think the job should go to American citizens first. Jimmy
Mhm.
said, "Surely Kamala can save us with her Venn diagrams, dude." That's
Oh
something I
my
learned debating Democrats. Uh, there's this one
God.
YouTuber out there. He has a little bit more subscribers than me. He's gonna be a little bit upset by the time November comes around and I fly past him. But his name is Sage, and he kept calling me out to debate him. I said, "Okay, let's debate. Here's the topic." And just like Kamala Harris, you know what he told me? He said,
Mhm.
"Oh no, I'm not debating you unless you give me all the questions and all your talking points before we start." I'm like, "Dude, this is not a formal college style debate. This is like,
Oh my
a
goodness. Oh
street
my
debate and
goodness.
discussion." Like they're
It's
trying to debate me
the
like Kamala
teleprompter.
Harris
It's the
does.
teleprompter all over again. It's the Biden teleprompter. Low battery warning. It's literally just like a pull-up teleprompter. They want everything like scheduled so that way he can put you on like a bunch of clips. He could just clip you a bunch. It
Yeah, dude,
sucks.
that's literally a trap. That's exactly what Kamala Harris tried to do for her podcast. That's why she didn't do very many podcasts. That's why she
Well,
didn't do the
her
Joe
Slay
Rogan
podcast.
show
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Actually, did you look at the 60-minute interview?
of with her.
Not no, not the edit. Yeah, not the edited version, but like the full one.
No, I don't think I just saw the one they posted. But I know Trump sued them for that. I think he won a couple $1 million off that. I'm not sure though.
They actually came actually with that lawsuit. They actually the FCC actually posted on their YouTube channel. You can actually look this up. Kamala Harris unedited 60 minutes, and it's a full 60. It's the full 60 minutes interview, unedited, and she answered zero questions.
Oh Jesus.
She just kept
Yeah, I
going
mean,
on
I don't
about
think you're a good faith debater if you want all the questions pre-written. You want all my talking points pre-written before you come on. I mean, I don't know what to tell this guy, but he's kind of, losing his relevancy on YouTube. Meanwhile, I'm growing more relevancy. That not that I really
just.
care. I just care about growing my message and having good talk
I
shows and
understand.
discussions. That's what I'm passionate about.
OMG, Tyler Robinson not even present in court. Oh my gosh. Uh,
How is that possible? Don't they force him to go to court?
because the problem with Tyler
Hello,
Robinson is
Michelle.
they have him in the like the turtle vest, the you can't unalive yourself vest. So they're keeping himself in prison to where they pretty much have him in solitary to where he can't just unalive himself to where you just like, oh no, I can't do anything.
I mean, he's
Because
already made
that's
threat.
what
He's already
one of the
talked about ending his life.
yeah, of course. That's what one of the other Trump assassins, the one from the golf course, tried to do, where he tried to get himself in the neck with a pencil, and two of his
Yep,
guards stopped them from doing
I
it.
saw that. Someone said he was on Zoom. Yeah, I figured J Money's
He
trolling
was.
99% of the time.
That's what I figured. The problem is with like Tyler. I actually played with him
What?
because, yeah, he has 4,000 hours in a game called Hearts of Iron 4, and he tried to play against me as the Soviet Union. I BTFO'd him as Germany, and he completely just cried and cried about how, ooh, the Soviets wouldn't actually do this. I just told him, dude, you took a loss.
How did you
Just
know it was him? You played video games against Tyler Robinson,
yeah, because I checked the Steam account.
and it was his exact Steam account?
Yeah, and it's like, wait, why do I know this from some? Ah, shit.
That's crazy. Did he ever scream to you about Trump or about Charlie Kirk or about
No,
politics?
he kept screaming about how communism was really fucking good.
Oh my God, that's fucked up, man. Communism is horrible.
I know it is, but I decided, I'm not going to talk to you.
And isn't communism a radical left talking point? It's really crazy, man. People really believe this man out here was not a Democrat or he wasn't like a radical left.
Because they saw the family view and said, "Oh yeah, it's just like let's see here. Let's go with a Republican family out in Utah. There's no way he's a Democrat, right? Even though Salt Lake City has been a Democratic hotbed for the last few years.
Even though all his friends and families said that he was
Even
like the
though
only
his
Democrat in his family.
mhm, even
In,
even though his brother was even though he was a Democrat, his boyfriend was transgender. That's when they stopped everything. Is as soon as they came out with the oh, his boyfriend was transgender. He was transitioning from male to female. It was getting and was pretty much in the dorm room the entire time, just gaslighting him. It was pretty much stupid at
the
that point.
Democrats scream at the top of their lungs. They're like, "No, that wasn't his boyfriend. That was just his roommate. That was."
No,
I
no,
mean,
no, no,
dude.
that was just his friend. That was just his friend. I'm like, come on. Anyways, what do we got here? Roberts. Oh, ooh, who are these two fine gentlemen in the background?
Oh yeah, sorry, I completely forgot about that. This is the same guy. Roberts overstayed his visa in 1999. He was arrested in 2020 for weapons charges. He was elected a DM superintendent in 2023. Oh, funny, under Joe Biden. His deportation order for him since 2024, and in 2025 he was arrested by ICE. He was at work as a superintendent, and they found a gun and a knife on him and $3,000 in cash. And who is the man in charge of this freaking school district? I think it's this guy right here. That's probably why he might have done it. I don't know.
I'm surprised they kept him for that long. I mean, but I'm also not surprised. Like back at my old high school, we had someone who's now the principal getting to multiple DUI arrests, and they kept getting
Oh
bringing them back over and
Jesus.
over and over again. Like schools for some, like you hear the joke of how pastors are like into little kids, and it's like, ah ha ha, don't get your kid around a preacher. They don't talk about the public schools and the men that as soon as they turn 18, they just go and try to like engage with one of their own students.
That's
Nobody talks about
disgusting.
that. It's horrid, it's disgusting, but it's often silenced because and it yes, of course, and it has to stop. They have to they have to teach teachers to not engage with students. I know, crazy, crazy opinion, but they need to teach teachers to stop engaging with students, males and females need to stop
Mhm.
engaging with younger students in a sexual way.
I 100% agree. This guy says he wants to debate me. All you gotta do is join in the Discord, man. I have no idea who you are. You're probably someone that's in the
Just
Discord
join the
that's upset.
Discord. Like how he's debating me right now. I joined the Discord. I waited a couple days. I wanted to talk about some things. He's like, "Hey, you want to come debate me?" I was like, "All right, cool. Let's go debate."
We can talk about nuclear energy, by the way, if you want to talk
Oh
about
yeah.
that.
Now the thing is that I don't understand is why the United States is starting back up its nuclear program, but in the wrong way. Like instead of using the nuclear power plants to power homes and communities, they're using it for private businesses and AI technology. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's going to be powering AI and other technologies instead.
Which I think it's nice, but the problem is with AI is that it is very resource like draining. Like if just like I'll give you an example, just one singular prompt on like Google AI takes an entire 1,000-watt microwave, an entire day's worth of electricity nonstop just for one prompt. And just to keep doing it over and over, it's very, very wasteful energy. And they're trying to find a way, which they finally realize nuclear power is the way to go. But sooner or later, there will be an AI collapse where there's too much and the market will be too saturated. And
Yeah,
I
AI
think
is scary. Should we talk
it's
about
very,
this super chat for a second? I'm going
yeah,
to
sure.
piss
What's
someone
super chat?
off with this, but can we talk about the Independent Party being one of the best political parties, but is highly overshadowed by the Dem and Republican? What does the Independent Party stand for? I'm genuinely asking you right now, what do they stand for? Because as far as
I would like to ask. I understand. I want to know what this independent party is because you have pretty much the United States has been a two-party system. You've had even in the start, you've had Whigs and Democrats. Then you've had Democratic Republicans. Then you have Republicans and Democrats ever since.
Yeah,
It's
the
always been a
independent
two-party
party
system.
literally is not a political party. The independent party just means that you vote for either side, really. Like my mom was an independent. She voted
Mhm,
for Obama the first
mhm.
time. Then she decided that he did a terrible job and she didn't vote for him again. Then
Yeah,
she
I
voted,
understand.
I think it was for Romney or someone else, whoever ran in the next election.
Yeah,
And
it
then,
was Romney.
2016, she voted for Trump. She was an
Mhm,
independent until 2024 when she registered with the Republican Party. So I really don't even understand what values the independents believe in. It's either you believe in these radical left ideas of cutting off, kids' penises and letting them take hormones and shit, or you believe in, moderate to conservative ideas, or maybe you're more of a libertarian or something like this. But what the fuck is independent, dude? Like
I think
independent. Go
I
ahead.
think what independence is that you have the independence to not portray yourself within party ideologies, where you can
Yeah, I understand
actively
that
use
part.
independence to understand which side is which. And the good thing about independent parties is that you don't have to abide by blinding yourself on party lines. You don't have to blind yourself on, like, if you want to be a Democrat, you don't have to believe in everything that they say. Like, they think that transgenderism is the way to go, and we need to get rid of kids, get rid of, like, you can be your own self and deject God on itself. And also, when you're being a Republican, you don't have to say that you like Charlie Kirk or you don't have to like Israel. You can be yourself independent or just be an average Joe and just not give a shit about politics.
Yeah, I understand that on the independent. That part makes perfect sense to me. And I think,
Mhm,
if you are a Republican or if you are a Democrat, if you disagree with
mhm,
something, you should stand up for it. You shouldn't just say, "Well, I'm a Republican, so I got to do what all the Republicans do." Or just because you're a Democrat, you shouldn't be thinking, "Oh, I'm a Democrat, I'm on the left, so I got to accept,
mhm,
changing genders and bullshit gender theory and identities in schools and all that kind of stuff." You should free think like, yes, at the moment I'm a conservative. Overall, I would consider myself a conservative. Yes, I'm a registered
mhm,
Republican, but would
mhm,
I, free think and vote for a Green Party or a Democrat candidate if they were really good? Like if RFK Jr. If it was RFK Jr. versus Trump, okay, that would have been people. This is extremely controversial. I'm not gonna. We can't really talk about all the jabs and all that kind of
mhm.
nonsense on here.
Yeah, of
YouTube
course,
is
of course. I understand. I
quite
understand.
strict on that. But all I'm gonna say is, for an instance, I would have probably voted for I would have been possibly considering voting for RFK Jr. if probably not against
Mhm.
Trump. Honestly, I might
Yeah,
vote Trump instead.
yeah,
But that
I
would actually
figured
be
you'd
a
vote Trump.
legitimate consideration. That might be a legitimate consideration. Trump versus
Of course,
RFK. If we had a Democrat candidate like that, then I might actually,
it would have been
consider.
very much fun. It would have been like two sides going head to head.
Yeah, that would be like the old days. Nowadays, we just got these. I don't care about either, man. Honestly, I see that these wars are pointless. All these countries can suck it, blah, blah, blah. People spit on Christianity, so kind of biased at this point. Yeah, I mean, at least this guy says, pretty much
Mhm.
moderately the truth on some issues I can agree with him on.
Yeah,
Maybe stop filling your head with bullshit. You want to be specific about anything
please.
particular?
Hold on. I've seen some of your chats where they say that New York needs to not vote Mondami as Democratic primary or just get Democratic mayor. Honestly, now what I'm going to say is pretty troll, but I think New York should put in Mondami. If they believe in him
Oh,
so
God.
much, they should put him in and have his policies ruin New York even worse. So that way every single person can say, "I told you so."
I mean, yesterday a guy came on here and told me that McDonald's workers should be making $75,000 a year. He would probably even argue that they should be making a hundred
Seven,
thousand dollars a
seven.
year.
That's more than a police officer. That's more
Dude,
than
he doesn't
EMTs.
care. He
That's
does
dumb.
not care. He
Okay,
does not have
all
any way
right.
to justify this.
Uh,
He says everyone should make a livable wage and they should make $75,000 a year. I posted the clip on it, man. And you know what the fucked up part is? A bunch of people in the Discord. I mean, I think they're all like, 18 and 19-year-old kids that still,
mhm.
don't have
They're
any
still
real
trying to find themselves.
responsibilities. But they're all
It's,
screaming at the top of their lungs, "Yeah, we gotta pay. We should pay McDonald's workers $75,000 a year." I'm just like, what the
let's see.
fuck?
What policies do you not like from Mondami? Well, the first policy is state-run stores. grocery stores are running at a tight budget where they only make 1% of profit, and they have to tightly use the best source of meats, best source of goods, and it's pretty much a well-run system. If you're relying on the state to do something, especially a state like New York, where it takes damn near 6 months or so to actually get something done, then what's going to happen when the funding for state-run stores is going to go out where there's no food? Now free trains and free buses, I think should be worthwhile, but I think they should be a safe area, not
Yeah, I mean,
just
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it's not like they're making hella profit anyway. It's just saving a Paul. I'm 18. Christ is King. MAGA. Well, shout out the UK. I think you're from UK, right? That's pounds that you sent there. Shout out the
yeah,
UK.
it's 2 pounds.
Yeah, shout out the UK. Prayers for the UK. They need it. The digital ID, that shit is trash. Don't fucking pick that up. That's probably, yeah, man, Dami's ideas. Let's talk about the grocery stores for a second. So, my opinion is we see how the DMV is ran. I mean, some people
Um,
will argue with me and they'll say, oh, the DMV in my state, man, I can go in there in 5 minutes and get a driver's license. Dude, what fucking area do you guys live in?
Where
Because
yeah,
when
where is this at? I'm sorry, my DMV says, "Oh no, you don't have a copy of the Treaty of Versailles. You can't get your driver's license." Come on, come on, seriously.
No joke, man. No joke. Like, I waited, I think, 2 hours one time just because I lost my driver's license and I needed a new copy of it. And then I
Yeah,
had to show like my address, all this paperwork, and dude, like they're telling me that the government ran grocery stores are gonna be much better. You're gonna be in
oh
and
yeah,
out.
that's surely gonna work perfectly fine.
Like, oh, surely that's a great idea. Not to mention, Mendami wants to pay McDonald's workers $30 an hour. That's kind of where we got these numbers from. At first I'm like, that can be roughly about $60,000 a year, $70,000, $60,000 a year, somewhere around there. If you calculate in all the hours, I think of 40 hours a week. Oh, let's see how much that would be.
Of course, of course, of course.
I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of where we got those numbers from exactly. And then I asked him $75,000 a year. That's okay with
Mhm.
you? And he said, "Yeah, man, that's okay with me. If they're making $1 million of profit a year, they can just give half of their profit, half more of their profit away, and they'll be fine." I'm like, dude, why would they do this business to make? Why would they start a McDonald's franchise to make less money than they would if they just invested their money in the S&P 500 or some crypto or some stock, where they have to do basically no work? They just invest it and let their money sit there. That makes
Yeah,
no
of
sense.
course.
People that start businesses aren't doing it to make 10% profits. At least let them make 20% profits.
Yeah, of course, of course. You get your profit, then you pay your employees a little bit more to try and draw out the competitions. That way, you're pretty much nailing business. Someone
I mean,
said,
if the
"Oh,
salary is $7 an hour, okay, I can probably advocate to raise it a bit.
Seven
Maybe.
725 is the minimum federal average. I suggest maybe like either $8 or $10. ten
Yeah, that's
dollars being a
fine. I wouldn't raise it
little
to
bit of an
30.
extreme
Hell
for
no.
$10. Because the problem is that when you're working at a fast food restaurant, you're not trying to make it a career. You're trying to get yourself. It's literally just for teenagers to make themselves a quick buck. That's why they always have a high amount of turnaround. You
He
need to
tried to
give
say like
yourself,
McDonald's is a career, and he tried to act like he said, well, he tried to basically act like they were enslaved. He's like, they're enslaved. What else can they do? They're
dude,
enslaved by their master. I'm just like, what the
you're
fuck?
enslaved as a McDonald's worker. You know, you have the option to leave and never return.
That's what I told him, and he said, no, man, they can't do anything else. I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about?
Unless you're actively just putting stuff into the food to where you're forced to being fired, you have the right to leave. You don't have the right to you have the right to not work there. You have the right to achieve and do something else. Be better. Instead, you're just complaining about McDonald's or Burger King instead of bettering yourself. You keeping yourself at the bottom.
Yeah, this is another disgusting thing. They'll tell you that the Democratic Party isn't satanic, but I'm not trying to say all of them are satanic, guys. Don't freak out again. Don't freak out. But when these kinds of actions are indeed satanic, uh, Pennsylvania Democrat Congress candidate Bob, whatever the hell his name, wants to use taxpayer funded grants Take kids and teach them to LGBTQ centers and teach them about all kinds of inappropriate stuff and also about transitioning in the transgenderism. You're really gonna tell me that this is the party of common sense and the Democrats are the good guys? Are you really kidding me right now? Yes, this is libs of TikTok. Apparently, you liberals have a problem with that.
The problem with that is, instead of keeping transgenderism and all of the fucking nuance of extremist lefty ideologies out of the Democratic Party decided to link them in as 1% of the population to get more votes. As sooner or later, that has extremely backfired. Now,
Yes, sex ed
I
is
will
is
say,
is it
sexual
important?
education is needed, but to
It's
go to the
important.
lengths of it to where but in order to get to the lengths where you need to explain it like you're shopping at a Spencer store in a mall, that's getting a little bit egregious. Now, you can try and discover yourself to see who you are, but if you're just going to just reject yourself and just say, you know what, screw it, I'm going to. I forgot it. I forgot it. Damn.
That's just
Anyways,
absolutely heinous. These Democrats in the comments are really screaming at the top of their lungs. Wow,
let's see.
that's education. That's sex ed. No, good sir, that's not exactly what that is. What is this one saying right here?
1,600K rent for one apartment, one bedroom apartment, no bath. Oh my goodness, you're no.
This is
I can't do
exactly
that.
what's wrong with the radical left. This is truly disgusting. This is a special kind of derangement and evil to protest a young man murdered that was a father, a Christian, and a husband. And you're gonna protest he's dead. What the fuck are you protesting?
They want
That's
attention.
disgusting.
Let's be real. They just want
I'm
attention
just
at this
glad
point.
this kind of stuff doesn't
Some
happen in my area, or I would probably be facing some charges. That's all I'm gonna say.
all right. You don't have all right. Someone said you don't have real sources. All right, buddy. If we posted out every single source, you would turn Republican. If we showed you every single source, like I understand this is just like talking points right now, like libs of TikTok and wokeness. I understand those. They're made by the same guy. Let's be quite honest here. But it does show like the hypocrisy and pretty much the over the top exaggeration of how bad Democrats are, and they are
Who's
really fucking
everyone
bad.
else? Who else has sources? I watch these Democrat streamers. They don't show any sources. They scream at you at the top of their lungs that Trump is a fascist. Where's the source for that one?
Uh,
I mean,
what
that's
is the
freaking
source?
ridiculous.
Uh,
Oh yeah, man, keep looking for that
oh
source.
yeah, my sources. They came to me in a dream.
Oh,
All
hold on, let me move out of the way so you guys can see this
right.
one. What do you guys think about that?
Sorry, I had to squint my eyes there. Most likely that woman has three baby daddies and is getting $75,000 worth of child support.
$75,000?
Yeah, because if you're protesting something that you yourself are not even going to buy, you're getting paid. You're either getting paid or you got somebody else paying for your stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kendrick Lamar, Drake. I'm gonna say Kendrick.
It depends. If you want to start blasting a car and just like kicking it with your friends, it's Kendrick Lamar. But if you're just chilling, or actually, one of the best Drake songs, Marvin's Room, where you just got broke up by your girl, or you try to ask a girl out for like months on end, and then you see her with another dude and they're a unit within a week, you're pretty much just another day. Let's get this bread. Are you drunk right now? I'm just saying you could do better.
Your conversation is a complete lack of critical thinking. Can you please explain? Apparently, you love our conversations. You're always in my live, Mr. David, sir.
Critical thinking,
Thank
critical
you,
thinking,
guys. I
critical thinking.
love you, and I'm going through the Drake situation. Well, prayers for you, brother.
I understand because Drake is a PDF file. I understand that, especially when it comes to young girls.
Oh, when I was in high school, I used to be like, when someone would tell me that they were afraid of Drake, I would go ballistic on him. I can't even lie. I really didn't like Drake, but now I'm open up to him a little bit.
It's just a bunch of celebrity spiel, nothing much, just something to distract you with,
What
which I
game is
like
on
to.
right now? People keep talking about how Denver just scored.
All right, so it's two NFL games, and they're completely utterly dog water. It's the Jets and the Dolphins, which they're both 0-3. So that should just show you right there. And then the second game is the Bengals without Joe Burrow whatsoever and the Broncos. Honestly, this is probably one of the worst Monday night slates record wise I've seen so far.
Cincinnati 3, Denver 14.
Yep, that sounds about right. Let me guess, Bo Nick's already threw two interceptions. And I know dog water. I am a Browns fan. I know when it is trash, okay? Because the Browns keep playing Joe Flacco instead of like getting Dylan Gabriel to start or like Shador. Oh my god, I hate when the Browns decided to draft Shador standards. It just made everyone think that you're just a bandwagon. It's like you're just a Shador fan. No, the Browns are horrible. He is in a cursed team to where they don't develop quarterbacks, or if they do develop quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield, they ship them off to get someone that's more adult, like Deshaun Watson, who's injured, always in trouble with massage parlors, and pretty much does
Oh
nothing.
no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Someone said Lions or Browns.
Right now, I'm a Browns fan. I'm going to take
Has the
that. I took
Browns
the
ever
Browns
won a
to the
Super
Super Bowl.
Bowl?
No, no. Have the Browns ever won a Super Bowl? No, but they have won NFL championships. They've won 10 of them. And that was back all the way into 40s. They have not done anything
Oof.
since 1999. They've had like four winning seasons. That is
NFL turned into WWE in boxing match.
NFL turned into WWE and boxing match. I mean, eh, when you see George Pickens just go 100 miles an hour and just clothesline the nearest cornerback, yeah, I'd love that. Sounds like the Falcons. Yep, sounds. Hold on. How do I type in this chat? Because I want to type 20. Oh, here it is. Nah, I just. All right. 28-3. That's all I have to say. Better than the Maple
Democrat
Leafs and Hawk.
panic. If we say Trump 2028, I love trolling Democrats. Yeah, this hat
2020.
does
Oh my.
start to make them panic.
2028. Oh my gosh. They keep panicking over nonsense at this point.
They don't even realize that we're trolling them.
Of course, of course. No, the Falcons have always been good. Uh, how's Michael Vick and dogs before 2007?
Y'all want Vance in 2028? I mean, we'll see how
Vance
it plays
is
out, but sure. You
nah.
don't like Vance?
Vance. Now, I will say Vance is based when it comes to Twitter, but his policies are kind of he's just following right after Trump at this point.
You
Now,
don't like
there
Trump's
is
policies?
I do like most of Trump's policies. Like his immigration policy is 10 out of 10 fucking perfect. Like it needed to be done, but some of the things like maybe increasing the budget but lowering taxes, I'm kind of net even on Trump.
Oh, you
Okay.
don't like lowering taxes, man? I
I,
appreciate
I like
knowing.
I like lowering taxes, especially for lower and middle class. Actually, for all three classes, if we're going to be quite honest with you. But the problem that I have, especially with the big beautiful bill, is what's going to come after. We went short sighted on the now and like, hey, we're going to get lower taxes. What's going to
It has to
happen with
be. That's why we need a conservative to come back in. I mean, people argue, oh,
actually
why do we have all these short-term tax benefits? Well, we need, Trump to come in 2028, obviously. Like, why else do you think? Why do you think he's painting? Why do you think he's putting gold in the White House? That way he can stay in there until his final days. It's very obvious.
actually I do have one person that's on the Republican side that I think is going to be a really, really good candidate, and you should look into him at this. It is a conservative Republican named Thomas Massey. He is anti-Trump and has been going after Epstein files as well. He's pretty much made himself an independent person. He's not a Trumpist. He's not a bipartisan that wants to suck off the Democrats. He's just his own person that wants to do the better for the United States. Like instead of being everything involved with like me, how about we just get something done for the American people?
Yeah, let me talk about this comment real quick. The big
Yeah,
beautiful bill increased spending by 4.5 trillion. That's an estimate first off, that's not an actual fact. That is an estimate between, 5 to 10 years that'll increase the deficit by 4 trillion dollars. But it's not an estimate. The 1 trillion dollars that the Democrats are trying to push in the budget bill right now for illegal immigrants' health care. That's not an estimate. It's in plain layman terms, $1 trillion dollars for illegal immigrant health care. No, thank you.
you know what actually is true about Democrats? They spent $20 million to come up with a reason to connect themselves with young men. Like
Oh, yeah, I
they
believe
spent
that.
$20 million to make a study on how to connect with younger men. Not true, buddy. This came from CNN. What?
It absolutely is true. And you want to know the crazy part is? I forget the name of the influencer. I mean, they paid Kamala Harris made multiple payments to Dean Withers for her,
Oh my
for
gosh,
his promotion. I
bro!
think she paid.
They were putting Cardi B up there as promotional people. Do you think Cardi B is a good politician?
No. By the way, Kamala Harris paid multiple TikTokers 10,000, 20,000. They paid Dean Withers, I think, $50,000 for a TikTok campaign for Kamala Harris, which is absolutely mind-boggling. Do you think actual men care about Dean Withers?
No, they don't. I don't even think anyone knows or
Why are
cares.
we paying Israel health care, America first? Why are we paying illegal immigrant health care? How about that? What's a bigger
And
problem? Us giving
both
sorry?
both of them are problems, but the one that can be solved the easiest is paying a bunch of immigrants trillions of dollars just to come in here and not legal immigrants, yes, but illegal immigrants, no, we should not be paying them trillions of dollars. Now, the second question with why are we paying Israeli health insurance? Because the entirety of the United States, both Republican and Democrat, have both decided, for some reason whatsoever, that Israel is our greatest ally,
Well,
even
let me
though
talk
they have.
about this for a second. By the way, what do you think's a bigger problem? We've given Israel $22 billion in 4 years, or here's the other question: do you think $1 trillion for illegal immigrant health care is a bigger issue? I'm just genuinely curious. $1 trillion versus 22 billion. What do you think is the bigger problem here? According to the anti-Semitic Democrats, it's Israel, Israel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I
Mm,
definitely believe in keeping America first. Don't get me wrong, but like you said, what's more easily solved? Not giving $1 trillion for illegal immigrant health care, or the whole other situation? Brown
I
boy, shut up. That's racist as hell, man. That is fucking racist. That is racist. I
there's the
guarantee
racist
you're a
Democrat.
Democrat.
There's the racist Democrat. I knew they were gonna come out the woodwork. I knew they were gonna show up as soon as they saw
Honestly, I
me.
wouldn't even read that comment, but it kind of just slipped off my freaking
Yeah,
fingertips.
I saw it. And I was like, I know what he's gonna do. So I will say it is a bit easier, but it is going to take a lot to convince the American public that we need to stop funding Israel. Because we're not just funding 22 billion, we're sending trillions over to Israel. We're paying for their island dome. We're paying
When? We
for
haven't
the
sent trillions over recently. I'm talking about the total expenditures in the last 5 years, 22 billion.
5 years, 22
Yeah.
billion.
Yeah.
Eh,
Well, let me ask you this. You know how much we've sent them since 1945?
you mean 1948 when they were created?
Okay, whatever year it was. Do you
Mhm.
know how much we've sent them? Take a guess.
1.2 trillion.
No, it's not even in the trillions. We've sent them
It's not?
220 billion. I've researched this extensively. I recommend
Mm.
you do it yourself.
Okay, okay,
It's
okay. I will.
$220 billion. Now, do you know how much we've given Ukraine in 3.5 years?
Probably in the span of like trillions of dollars, most
Not
likely within the
trillions
last.
either. We've given them about 230, $240 billion. So we've given Ukraine in 3.5 years, more than we've given them in their entire freaking history.
Mm-hmm.
You said
Of course.
1911? No, he didn't say
19
1911.
No,
He
I
said
said
1948.
1947. That's when they were created.
1947.
That's when they were created, and then immediately went into war with all the Arab nations and won. And then they
It
did it in
costs $2
'67
billion
and won.
of what? To get rid of homeless? Well,
If
then
it
talk to
cost to
Gavin Newsom about that.
if it
Gavin
costed 20
Newsom was
billion,
allocated, I think, around $2 to $3 billion and to get rid of homeless just in California, and about I think about 70 to 80% of that money went completely unaccounted for.
no, because the problem is with Gavin Newsom is if he actually helped out the homeless would vote Republican and kick him out of office. That's why he's keeping them down poor, so that way they don't know how to vote.
Yeah, no kidding. They can't even vote because they can't even get
It's
an ID.
exactly that's the worst part. Actually, a Democratic stronghold right now, New Jersey, is about to flip red because they're tired of all the
Massachusetts
beat.
is also about to flip
There's a
completely
lot of blue
red.
states that are flipping red because they're tired of seeing Israel was not created in 1948, as always existed since BC. All right. Let's
I
see
do
here.
agree
Let's see
with
here,
that. I
buddy.
do agree with that. But let's stay off this
Yeah,
topic. I'm not trying to
let's
get
stay off of
kicked
that at
off
this
this
point.
freaking app for talking about this.
I don't want you to get Nick Fuentes. Okay, I don't
Yeah,
want
I'm not
that to
trying to
happen.
have that happen, and a lot of
All right,
people are trying to
of course.
get that to
If it
happen to
co-
me.
of course.
It's hilarious. YouTube said, "Oh yeah, we've been censoring people for political reasons. We're gonna let all your accounts come back on. We're gonna unban you." They let Alex Jones come back on YouTube, and he did one single live stream, and they banned him. Same thing with Nick.
The thing is with YouTube is that it even came out on a document that YouTube was pressured by the Biden administration to censor or deplatform people who were questioning about the COVID mandate back in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, we can't talk about
They
that here on either.
Yeah,
But
of course.
you said it.
They're bringing them back, but they just haven't made the program for it yet. And
Wait,
YouTube
no
is very
way.
slow.
Move to Japan is not in chat, man. There's
Move
no
to Jap-
way.
Move to Japan. Oh my gosh, not this guy.
He's not in chat, man. You know who he is too?
No, I don't, but his username explains a lot.
Oh man, he's radical as they get, man. He went on his live stream. He started screaming, "The Jews are the new Nazis." Dude, that is fucking horrific, dude. What the actual fuck? Don't say that kind of shit.
I mean, YouTube pays him for it too, so as long as he's
That
not
is
getting
fucked
banned for
up,
something
dude.
stupid.
They don't even kick. He said unblock me, dude.
Of course.
They don't even kick you off. Like these radical Democrats can say fucking anything, dude. We got Hassan Piker and Destiny all over here calling for.
Actually, there's a congressional hearing coming up. I think it's either next week or the week after in October where Twitch, Reddit, Discord, and Steam, for some reason, are all going to have a congressional hearing about censorship and speech. Because look at Twitch. Why is it that one side you get to speak your mind and just say hateful, violent rhetoric, or like saying, I want to unalive this person, but on the other side, if you say you like this, you're just gone. You're just done. Like how Hassan Piker has stayed on Twitch without having a long-term ban, because I know he's been banned for like 24 hours and then he got back.
Thank you for this good conversation. God bless Trump. Thank you, Bubba. I appreciate that super chat.
I got permanently banned from Reddit just by posting statistics. Dude, your first problem was going to Reddit. That's the
Dude,
first
Reddit.
problem.
Oh, I feel like a lot of my commenters and people that watch my streams are all Redditors, and I
Dude,
mean this in the kindest way possible. What do you think about this chick? She says Ozempic is a pill to make sure we don't exist anymore. This is genocide.
oh, because Ozempic is a fat loss reduction, and she thinks Ozempic is fat phobic, and they think fat people is she thinks fat people are a race.
Dude,
Which, oh my gosh,
is Move to Japan in the comment section? Why do you guys keep mentioning him? I
no,
don't
he's
see him
not.
anywhere.
He's trolling you.
It's a shot, not a pill. That is a good point. I believe it is a shot, but maybe there's a
It
pill. I'm not 100% sure. Dude,
I don't know.
Ozempic
Some
has a lot of bad side effects. Anyone that actually knows about this shit is not actually taking it anymore.
because it's not natural fat loss reduction. It's kind of like the machines that
Oh
you
man,
get for
someone says
like,
he was here. If Drewby says it, man, that's not even a troll comment.
oh,
This
Drew,
man's
oh,
an
Drew.
honest guy.
Mhm.
What did Move to Japan say? What did he say, guys? Can anyone tell me? Like I didn't see any of his comments. I must have missed them.
She is sick. Well, yeah, most people that are overweight tend to have a short lifespan. So if we're going to be quite honest here, we won't be hearing from them long because of natural causes. Like it is sad to not be able to better yourself, but instead just blame everyone else for bettering themselves and losing yourself once it's too late.
Man, I'm honored that Move to Japan, the legend, the Democrat laughingstock of YouTube, literally commented on the stream. I'm
Oh,
actually amazed how many people know who he is, but he only has 7,000 subs.
of course, of course.
But that's because I think most people watch him and they don't actually sub to him because he doesn't have any talking points. Most of the time, he's screaming at the top of his lungs how
It's just common
Trump is a
rhetoric, or just
fascist and a
like
Nazi.
which you've said. People, Democrats have said that for the past 8 years since Trump came into office back in the first time. They just called every regular person. They called Trump. First they called bad people Nazis. Then they call them fascists. Then they call them Trump supporters. So it just laps back around to where regular people are now just considered Nazis, and it's just stupid.
Dude, I wish that the Trump administration, or Trump specifically, would shove a boot up every single social media platform's ass that's refusing to, like, this is going to be a controversial statement, but I don't believe that these platforms should have, terms of service that are against freedom of speech. I mean, dude, like,
Well,
what is it? What harm does this do? What's up,
now,
Burnell? How are
the,
you?
the the thing is with the freedom of speech part is that platforms like that should be able to moderate what people can and can't say, because freedom of speech, especially for the First Amendment, is for the government.
No, I
Now you
understand. It's
can't
not for
now.
private businesses. If you own like a restaurant and someone comes in and they start screaming at you, they're like, "Fuck you, asshole." You can kick them out of your restaurant. You should be
Yeah,
able
of
to do that.
course.
But I think there should be like some kind of, there should be some stuff against government censorship. Like, dude, it's just unfortunate that YouTube doesn't really want too much crazy freedom of speech. Like, I can't really say everything I want to say fully, but
I can't say
eventually I'll
anything
get
that
on
I want to
Rumble.
say, because the problem is if I say anything I want, then I have consequences to my actions. And a lot of people are starting to figure out that consequences do exist, and they're learning it the hard way.
I appreciate you, Brenda. Hopefully you smash. Yeah, that's another thing Democrats say. They say, "Oh, Charlie got what he deserved. He knew there was consequences for his hate speech." Like, what fucking hate speech? Just because he
But
exposed the DEI, just because he talked about. There's actually lawsuits against airlines for hiring
no,
pilots that don't meet the same standards as other airline pilots that were
well,
DEI
so,
hires.
well, the problem with DEI, Howard, when affirmative action and DEI first came in, it was actually a good idea, because they wanted to get people of color to say, hey, people of color can actively do what other people can do, like white people and such. Like they can fly a plane or they can do this. And it was the best of the best. Now, ever
That
since
was
they
in the
got rid of it, or
1960s.
yeah, of course, 60s, 70s, and 80s as well. Now they're using it not to just a show of effect, but just to show that, okay, we need to make diversity quotas for some reason, which makes no
Diversity
sense.
quotas are racist. Would you agree
Yes,
or
they
no?
are. They most certainly are. They most certainly are. They need to make diversity hires because I don't know.
I had a DEI debate with one guy. One really important question I wanted to ask him. I said I should have asked him this. You have two guys. He was a black guy, by the way. One guy's a
Mhm,
white guy. He has the same qualifications as this other guy. He's a black guy. They have the same exact qualifications, the
mhm,
same background, the same age, the same everything. One guy's
mhm.
black. One guy's white. You run a company. Which guy would you hire? If he lies and says he would hire the white man, then I just know he's full of shit because first off, he was racist against white people. Second off, he definitely
At that point, you should have just stopped because you knew you're going to know exactly what the next hour long or hour or 2 hour long debate was going to be. You can call a black guy or a white guy, but I can't say brown boy. All right, listen here, there, boy. Oh yeah. Whoops. I'm sorry. I'm off track. Anyways, the reason why it's the way that you worded the question is kind of a trap because more likely or often it's usually the black person that is underqualified, but instead of actively getting the more sophisticated, more hired on person, instead they're just going to hire the black guy just for diversity purposes and diversity hires, even though most of the company is damn near 100% black or almost like there's no white people on there whatsoever. They're just going to do it just because. And now
people should
companies are
be able to
starting.
hire who they want. I mean, I get that that DEI isn't was not like a federal law, but they're
Mhm.
definitely getting money from the government to enforce DEI.
Which that should not be an incentive to hire certain people. Actually, that would be considered a discriminatory cause.
Yeah.
Yeah,
DEI didn't earn it. I agree, but
yeah, I
people will
agree.
call you racist and they'll try to slander you.
Of course, of course. Well,
Even if other, black and brown people agree with you, even if other races, religions, these people all agree with you, they don't care. They'll still call you racist. They'll call the
what happened
black
to
guy or the brown guy racist. They don't care.
what happened to first come first serve? All right, so what happened with first come first serve, and it's starting to happen a lot of places. They just don't hire people. Like they'll put up a for hiring sign, and you'll be like, "Oh, hey, just first come first serve," and you won't get anything. Or it's a fake sign up, and they just didn't need you anyways. They just needed the money to show, "Hey, we have someone hiring. We're getting people in. We're just not hiring them whatsoever. We're just keeping them on the clock because it's funny."
By the way,
Like you've tried to get
people will
hired,
say
right?
that dude, you can also be overqualified for a job. I got bad news for you guys. I've seen countless hiring managers, people I know that run businesses. Every single time I've seen an interview go terribly wrong, and the person is straight up delusional, saying that they have so much experience and that they can do a great job, and the person has like a horrific personality, or they just can't do the job. They'll literally
Like
tell you, they'll be like, "Well, I appreciate your interview, but I think you might actually be overqualified for this position. So for that reason, we're
it's
not going to hire you."
which doesn't make sense on overqualification. If they're overqualified, that means they're perfect. Hold on. Whoa, let me backtrack. Let me backtrack. If it's an entry level job that they're trying to enter into and they've already had like 10 years of experience, that's a bit of a reach. You should go for a job that suits your qualification level. But when it comes to someone that's trying to get into an entry level job and the requirement is you need like 5 years of experience, that's essentially impossible to try and do. Like you're having young carpenters, young, pretty much blue collar, white collar workers trying to get into a job and they just can't because for some reason the job is either A, trying to replace someone that was very extremely valuable and could just pick back up to where they're going, or they just don't want to train people whatsoever.
I mean, if you have 10 years of experience and it's an entry level job and you're applying for it, I would argue that they should give you the job. They shouldn't tell you you're overqualified. That doesn't make much sense to me. But
It,
because you're saying you need a job, if you're applying for a low level job and you have way more, a bigger skill set and you're quote unquote overqualified, the only reason the person would be applying for that job is because they can't find any other job or they want to work that entry level job. They should be able to. Like, why would you deny someone if they were truly overskilled? If that just means they're a competent worker, like, wouldn't you rather have someone that has experience doing that job, or would you rather give them like months and months of training?
Mhm, mhm. Especially when it comes to like right now, I'm going through a police job and such, and right now most of the equipment that each police officer has and the training for it is costing $110,000, and that's just the investment, just for like one singular officer.
Oh, you're
So
going to
when
be
you're
a
having
police officer?
I'm going through it right now. I actually got graduated from a community college for criminal justice. and working on
Nice.
being a
So
police officer
you're
right
gonna
now.
go to the police academy?
Yeah. Right
Nice,
now,
man.
but right now in my state, right now we have to go through a certification in order we have to get a cleat certification. We have to be certified to be security guards and be police officers. So that way police agencies just don't hire their third cousin over and just say, you know what, you're a lieutenant now. Good job. You
Yeah,
know?
that makes
That
that
way
makes a
just
lot of sense to me.
yeah,
So
so
what do
that
you
way they
think
don't
about
have
these
nepo
radical
hires.
Democrats that are screaming at the top of their lungs, defund the police, yada yada? And what about ICE? Would you ever be an ICE officer? I mean, I think they're full right now because they had 100,000 applicants,
The
and there's
pro
only 15,000 total ICE agents that jobs
the,
that they
the,
can
the
give.
thing the thing is with ICE about me because like ICE even shows up and propagandizes and announces, "Hey, we're going to give you a $50,000 signing bonus if you sign on to it." But the problem is that right now, I'm very very new to this criminal justice. I want to get actual experience, and
Yeah,
it
I
even says
understand
on.
that.
And I even looked at their application, like, "Hey, what kind of experience do you have in police forces?" Like they actively want like other cops and retired cops to actively like help out with ICE, which I think is a great idea. But I don't think it's working because most agencies have a good pension program for like a good like 15, 20 years, maybe 30 years or so, that gives them like 3,500, $5,000 like a month. And it's really,
Someone
really
said
good.
my town only hired 6'5". Oh man, he deleted the comment. 6'5"
Six,
white corn
six
fed
foot five white
hillbillies
corn
as
fed.
cops. Then that way, when they spot a black, they can try to move in, and we all know that the Amazon packages won't be stolen. What the hell is he talking about? Hey, Robin, how you doing? How are you
Guard the bank.
doing?
Guard the bank. Nobody rides banks. Yeah, pretty much. The only people that tried robbing banks is just well, in all essence, they think they're in a movie or like they're in GTA. But the problem is that all of the money is insured by federal backed governments, and you're dealing with federal agents instead of the local cops. So sooner or later, within about a week or so, they're going to find you. They're going to find the die packs that they have in the money, and you're pretty much just going to
Yep.
be arrested and gone to jail. So it doesn't even make any sense why people should like. I understand desperation, like robbing a little convenience store for like 200 bucks and such, you'll get 5 years. But for a bank robbery, no, just stop.
Yeah, that's not
Like
worth it, dude. You're gonna get
like
so
you're
much
effect.
time in prison.
Of course, it's not
You
even
can
worth
make
it.
2 or 3 grand working, construction or become a truck driver. You can make a lot of money doing all that stuff. Airline
Yeah.
DEI doesn't guarantee pilots are qualified to fly a Boeing 757 with 200 passengers safely. 100% agree. I see we got a lot of people in here. Well, thank you so much for your thank you. Thank thank you so very much kindly. Absolutely,
Of
Robin. I
course,
made you a moderator, by the way. But guys, it's the end of the month. If you want to show your support for the channel, now's the time. Hit that like and subscribe button. Any comments, questions, anything you want to say, all super chats are appreciated. You can also join the membership. That's really appreciated to support the channel. But all super chat comments will be read out loud, talked about, and discussed. But
of course, of
it's just
course.
crazy. Now we have people out here saying that Ozempic is trying to do a genocide on fat people.
Fat. Oh
That's
no! Oh
insane.
no! Oh, Ozempic is fat phobic. It's going to get rid of all the fat people and make them skinnier and likable, and not going to lead to an early unalive.
I just love how like American culture is like trying to like force men to like obese women and try to make it like okay and whatnot. I mean,
Oh dear
if you like
God.
BBWs, then
No,
that's
it's not. It's
fine.
not.
But
It's not a forced thing either. And it's usually and the problem with the forcing of like BBWs is just pretty much along black men, and you see it a lot. Where usually you have a BBW and you're like 3 or 4 like black guys as their baby daddies and such because for some reason they find them attractable, and I don't know what makes them attractable. What is attractable to a whale? Like, are they just are they being used? Are they being like just for money? Like what is the point about this? Like I understand it making yourself better, but That's a low point. You that's a low point. Eh.
I didn't know that about Ozempic, but I'm not gonna, talk about that on here because then they're gonna claim I'm getting giving medical advice. I've never given any medical
No, no,
advice.
no. There's no medical advice whatsoever. Nope, no, 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 no,
Americans
no.
need a drug to fix their high obesity rates. They don't
No,
need a drug. They just need to stay off eating fast food every single day. Then they won't
no,
be
no, no,
600 pounds.
no, 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 no. They need to take some of that money and go to Planet Fitness. It's it is 29.99 a month. Just go walk on a treadmill, or hell, you don't even have to go and just go walk on a treadmill. Just walk. Like I understand some obese people of obesity can't walk, and that I do say is very very sad. But if you have the opportunity to actually go on a walk, well, not at night because reasons, but to go actively on a walk around in your neighborhood where it's safe, you could actually. Do any of you two have a gym membership? Yes,
Does it
I
look like I
did.
need a gym membership? Just a genuine question.
Does
But
it look like you
but
take
also
off
I
the
do workouts at home. I do
take
push-ups.
off
I
the
do
blazer, take
sit-ups.
off
I
the
do
blazer. Let me see
running.
his shoulder.
Nah, man, you can't expose me like that. My shoulders are hella weak. But Burnell says, Graham, nothing wrong with the clearance rack section with a 4 or 5 resale tags. You got to try a thick lady once in your lifetime. That's already been tried, Burnell.
Yeah,
Like I said,
yeah.
if you like what you like,
I understand trying a thick lady for once in a while, but that's when you are experimenting. After that, gone. No, you
I
should.
mean, whatever
Yeah,
you like. Listen, there's a difference between dating or marrying a thick woman and marrying a 600-pound chick. But if you like a 600-pound chick, I don't have
be
I
my
don't have
guest.
anything against you. Do what you like. This is just our personal opinions. Christina Sky says we both need to gain muscle. Well, are
Both
you
need to gain muscle, buddy. I'm over here waiting to eat this Quest bar and such, and I'm 6'3", 230, and bench 300. What do you mean get muscles? I'm skinny. That's the whole problem. I'm skinny. I'm skinny as hell. It's all bone. I can't. I
I'm
can't
skinnier
get
than
like
you.
I can't get like those like most world strongman competitions where they eat looking like jacked up yolks. Like, geez Louise, have you tried average? Have you tried 5'9" average? Like, I understand. Hey, maybe not. But yeah, bro, I am getting a little too defensive. Gotta tighten up a bit. I lost a little bit of my cool there. So yeah, what's up?
Let's see
Anything
your
else?
bench. I want to see your numbers, dude. All these people that are trying to call us out and say that we're not in shape, that's hilarious, dude. We're not trying to, we're just talking about the stuff that we like. Personally, I like all kinds of women, but would I marry a 600 pounder? Oh, for sure not.
All right. Have you ever seen a fat person turn down a donut? Have you ever seen a fat person drink a Diet Coke? Like, yeah, that's a legit quote from Donald Trump. Have you seen? I have never seen a fat person drink a Diet Coke.
Are you serious? Because I have all the time.
I have as well. It's funny. It's funny.
But let's talk about some of the wars that Trump has ended. These people are maybe they weren't, some of these wars maybe they're just on peace treaties, whatever, whatever. Okay, I can understand. But when it comes to some of them, they're straight up war ending wars. He's straight
Yeah.
up ending these wars with
Oh
a
yeah.
peace agreement.
One of the wars that doesn't get talked about much is probably it was probably in the news cycle for about a couple days and then gone was Azerbaijan and Armenia
Oh
over
yeah, that's the one I
the
talk about.
over the Nikia Karabakh region. That region has been pretty much at war since the Soviet Union collapsed, and it's pretty much just been a dispute the entire time. But Trump, but I will say this: Trump doesn't really deserve credit for it because it was pretty much because Azerbaijan pretty much annexed the entire region after Russia, who was the peacekeeping force there, decided to leave and go to Ukraine.
Either way, I understand that, but either way, the conflict is over, and Who brought
It's
these two
done.
gentlemen together to shake hands and sign a peace agreement?
It wasn't going to be Putin, that's for damn sure. It wasn't going to be Erdogan, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, it was Donald Trump, but they don't. Even if I mention that one, it doesn't matter which of the seven wars I mentioned that Trump has ended. I'm still getting the same comment and the same response from the Democrats. Oh no, Trump hasn't ended a single war. He's a warmongering president.
Okay, okay. The problem with the warmongering comment is that Trump did not start the Ukraine war. Trump did not start the Middle East conflict. Trump didn't even start what's another conflict? Wait, you said there's 8 wars, right? What are
I
the wars
counted
that
the eighth one as we can count these all together, but I count number eight as Israel and Gaza if that war actually comes to an end, which hasn't came to an end yet. We're not going to give it to him yet.
the
Some people
the
don't consider the one with Kosovo and Serbia as ending a war, even though Serbia actively said that they were going to possibly do something here or there. I'm not saying the word and don't want to get them on my neck, but
the problem the problem
there's conflict tensions there, and they agreed
have
to
you
not
seen
doing any
have you
conflict.
seen have you seen what's been going on in Serbia as of late?
With the protest, or what are we talking about in
With
general?
the year-long protest, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I
It's
think
funny how they can have a million people and one protesting all at once, and not a single person sets 2 dozen cars on fires, looting stores,
mm,
like et cetera, et cetera.
they are. It's just the problem is that the government that's in power right now is extremely and very corrupt, and the Serbian people, especially the students, and they're pretty much yours and my age, are pretty much showing out. Hey, the Serbian government is very corrupt. They pretty much have not prosecuted any people that were involved with the
The
bus
collapse of
station
that
awning,
building.
the collapse of the bus station awning. Nobody was prosecuted. Nobody's been going to jail. Nothing has happened to them whatsoever. So instead of getting actions or getting a response, the Serbian government just said, you know what? Let's just get rid of them. And that has not worked out. I think right now, especially along in the world, that there is a lot of revolution and a lot of s- there's a lot of political revolution that's
I
going
mean, you can
on.
also look at Turkey for that as well.
Mhm. A
I don't
lot of
know. I
those
don't really
being
understand the complexity of their situations. But if you go back, someone said they're boycotting the NFL. I would like to talk about that for a second. What do you think? Let's go back to 2016. What do you think about Colin Kaepernick? Taking
Oh
a
my
knee
god.
for the Pledge of Allegiance.
The problem is with Colin Kaepernick is that he was starting to go to the twilight of his career. He was a top 10 quarterback at best, but he was usually a top 15 quarterback. The problem is that Donald Trump decided to come into the spotlight and show all this rhetoric and whatnot. Colin Kaepernick decided to make it about himself because a lot of NFL players, when it comes to brand image and likeness, they wanted to make it about themselves. You can look at what happened also in 2016. You can see about the hands up, don't shoot celebration from the Los Angeles Rams when they come by, but nobody cares about that whatsoever. Colin Kaepernick wanted to be noted. He wanted to be an activist. Well, activism does not make you money in the NFL. So pretty much as soon as his play went to the tank and the Niners started to suck, they pretty much got rid of him. And he's pretty much been a nobody since. Yes, he can make these points about, oh, hey, maybe I'll come back, maybe I won't. But he said it himself. I will accept the consequences of my actions. And he has still not accepted the consequences of his actions. Even though he's trash at this point in time,
Apparently, they said he
he's
was embarrassed because he got benched. So when they asked him, he made it up, and because he is egotistically trash.
yeah, pretty much. He was like top 15 quarterback at best, but then as soon as he started being like horrible, like you know who Jameis Winston is, right?
I don't really follow the NFL
You
like
don't
that, to
follow
be
NFL?
honest
All
with
right,
you.
cool. Once he started being like complete garbage, they just said, "All right, cool. You're not making money. You're gone. Bye." And they just went on, and pretty much it's been irrelevant, kind of like Don Lemon has.
Oh yeah, Don Lemon is pretty irrelevant. But
Exactly.
what about what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Gear Jammer says he's also in Oklahoma. Shout out Oklahoma, everyone.
Shout out,
What
you baby.
action? Kneeling? Yeah, kneeling.
Yeah, he was kneeling during the national anthem. He
He
still had his
acted like
hand
he was
over his
being
heart.
oppressed. How is he being oppressed? He's one of the richest athletes in the entire country. How is he oppressed?
He's not. Because once you get enough money, you can say whatever the hell you want to, and people will pretty much just say, "Yeah, he's being oppressed," and we believe you on that. It's kind of like
Would you
saying
consider
Alexander.
Kim Kardashian a BBW? My answer is no. She's thick.
No comment. I'm not going to answer that because you can answer that yourself, and I think you've already done that for me. I would.
I would consider Kim
Oh
Kardashian
my
made out
god,
of rubber.
bro! What is up with your mods being freaky? Let's go.
What else are they saying? What did the first guy say?
So, if Tom Brady would have taken a knee, do you guys think he would have had the same consequences? Yes. Yes, he would have.
Dude, if Tom Brady did that, he would probably face worse consequences. This man has way more Super Bowl rings.
Now, the problem is that Tom Brady would have been called a Nazi, and Bill Belichick would have gotten rid of him the second he did that. Because Brady was
Kim
on the
K can't cook or sleep facing down.
sleep, sleep facing down. You ain't just all ass. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Isn't Lizzo oppressed too? Wasn't that her Grammy speech? Okay, so when someone gets oppressed, they don't
She was
get
oppressed like
Alex. They
this.
don't
She was
get.
oppressed like this woman.
Oh gosh, they don't. If you are oppressed, you don't get a flute that was in the Smithsonian to play on and twerk. That is not oppression. If you want to look at oppression, please go look to the second or third world countries around the world. You want to talk
Kardashian
oppression?
microwaves her food. You know,
Micro.
probably.
Actually, you know what? Let's go a little bit off topic. What do you think is your favorite food?
Steak.
Steak. All right, cool.
What about
Mine's you.
you?
Mine's Monte Cristo. You know
Nice,
what that?
nice.
You know what that is, right?
That's a restaurant?
No, Monte Cristo is a sandwich that's like bread, ham, turkey, cheese, and it's deep fried in pancake batter.
Oh, Jesus, dude, that sounds like diabetes or a heart attack waiting to happen.
It is
It,
very good. It is very good. Trust me.
I'll definitely have to try that. I don't think I've ever
You have
tried
to.
that.
I will give you a heads up warning. It is very messy to make
She's a
because
multimillionaire and speaking on oppression. What the fuck?
that's what
T-bone
most
steak. T-bone's good.
T-bone's good. That's what most millionaires and billionaires do at this point. When you get higher up in the echelon, you can say as much you're oppressed as much as possible, and people will believe it. Even though you fly jets, you fly in the Bahamas, you're the Turks and Caicos and shit, but they don't need to know that. They just need to know that you have money and they're there for you.
And you're oppressed. Don't forget that part.
Of course, of course. They don't talk about the real oppressed people.
Dude, I can't even remember some of Lizzo's talking points, but dude, she probably has like worse talking points than this lady right here talking about Ozempic is trying to massacre the obese woman in America. I mean, dude, what does she think that there's someone out there with a blow dart gun and they're just blowing darts of Ozempic
Like
into obese women's
it's just an
arms?
elephant. It's just an elephant gun that just load up and it just like pew. Oh no! I'm losing my fat.
Apparently, they think that's what people are doing with Ozempic. But the fun fact is, this shit is like $3,000 a month for a
I'm not. No,
dosage.
I'm not paying. I'm not paying that. I'm not paying. Well, that's why because you're just cheating yourself if you're using Ozempic and shit like that. No cholesterol and heart diseases are massacring the fatties. Yeah, you're right, but nobody likes to talk about that.
So,
They don't
what do
want
you
to talk
think
about what
about
actually.
What do you
What's
think
up?
about George Floyd?
I don't know. What did it say on the autopsy report? He died on fentanyl
That's
overdose.
what I that's what I read. The way you
Yeah,
said it just made me laugh. Just to clarify, I'm not laughing at a man's death. I'm just laughing at the way he said that.
I'm not. Well, the thing is that if he didn't give the cash register a fake $100 bill, if he didn't take any more drugs of fentanyl, the only problem that happened was that Derek Chauvin put his knee on his neck and he said he couldn't breathe, even though
Don't forget about
he
the
couldn't
part where
breathe
he
about the
resisted
drugs.
arrest. Wasn't he also like in the back of the police car or like about to be sitting in the back of the police car and he was resisting?
Yep. He tried to pull himself out and they said, nope, you're in. If you read the
And
side effects of some of these drugs, it's crazy as fuck. Yeah, yeah, of course. Free.
what do you
No,
think
no.
about that? I
Oh my
honestly believe in
gosh.
that, man. I believe in
Pe-
that.
People, pe- People believe in that. I know you do too.
But I'm not saying that he didn't do anything wrong. Like, okay, maybe he can
He,
face some consequences. Maybe he
yeah,
can like
he needed to learn better.
maybe
That's
he
the
can
thing.
like lose his job, but like dude, like how many years
They,
in
they,
prison did he
they.
get again?
He got 30.
He got shanked in prison. Did you know that as well?
Oh,
Apparently I heard that.
I actually did think about that.
George Floyd would have complied, nothing would have happened, but being high as a kite has its consequences. Yeah, no kidding, Brunel, no kidding.
Isn't worse if he doesn't follow procedure. He's supposed to be doing training.
You want to know a way
Training changes all the time. Like you're doing different sorts of training, and sooner or later, you people are going to forget. Honestly, they're going to forget. Hey, training it. They're going to forget or relapse about their training, or just freak
I
the
mean,
fuck
from
out.
what I've heard, that was actually a standard police issue hold, but I'm not 100%. Also, funny enough, I saw a black man and a white man recreating the whole thing on Twitter. The black dude was on the ground, and the white man was standing. He wasn't standing on his actual neck, but he was putting his knee close to his neck, just like Derek
Yeah, I
did.
know. I saw that video. I know those two are the funniest people imaginable. Is this man unemployed? No, I actually have a job. Thank you very much.
And he's also going to be, a police officer soon. So if you're out there breaking the law in Oklahoma, he's coming for you. Bad boys, what you gonna
What you
do?
gonna
What
do?
you gonna
What you
do
gonna
when they
do
come
when they
for
come
you?
for you?
Bad boys.
Of course. All right. Well, it looks like my time is up. I'm going to have to let you go. Thank you very
All
much
right,
for having
man.
me on your platform.
Thank you for coming. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate your time.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Peace out. Bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. Food can be a drug. No, 100% agree. Food is a drug. But if you guys have any final questions, requests, anything you want to talk about, you can drop some super chats, whatever. I'm here for all your questions, everything you want to go for. You still have a cold, dude? Not really a cold. I'm just a bit congested. That's why I have a cough. But the mucus should be, completely cleared out of my system. Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool. Why did Palestine reject statehood 6 times? Anything can be a drug that's a user abuser. That's the classification. Pretty much. Nah, man, I don't got vid. I've never had that. And no jabs here. No jabs here. Zero jabs. But fat activist. Ozempic is a pill to make sure we don't exist anymore. This is genocide. What's up, social? How you doing? Play the Bad Boy song, Graham. You want the actual Bad Boy song? Hold on, I have my laptop right here, boys and gals. So let me play it. I think that guy would make a great police officer. I like seeing people like him saying they want to join the police force and whatnot. That's awesome. Especially nowadays, I don't think they're really encouraging people in the black and brown community to become police officers. If anything, they're encouraging them to scream, you know, freaking scream, leave the defund the police and leave the police force. Don't copyright. I mean, that is true. It's a copyright. I'm not gonna monetize. I'm not gonna be able to make ad revenue off this video, but I'll still play it. But if you can drop another super chat, anyone out there that wants to contribute towards this, or if Burnell does, that'd be appreciated. But I'm not gonna force you guys to. But that's another thing in mind. It is copyright, and I'm not gonna be able to monetize. So any kinds of things that you can contribute would be appreciated. What's the song called? Bad Boy Cops song? Because I see a bunch of songs coming up. Winning. Same thing with me. What's this video about? I mean, it just ended. It just ended. But hold on. Okay, here we go. Here's the theme song. Let's play it. Oh, wait, before I play this, it's sad that Cops was taken off TV. I think they put it back on TV now. I don't really remember. Ooh, bad boys, bad boys. Come for you, bad boys. Mr. Machine, what you gonna do when they come for you? When they come for you. Zero for me. Zero for me. When they come for you, bad boys, bad boys. Wasn't this show canceled during the Biden administration? Easy tune to dance to, for sure. I'm not the best dancer. I'm not as good dancer as Donald J. Trump, but when they come for you, come for you, bad boys, bad boys. I agree, yuck. Come for you, bad boys. For you, bad boys, bad boys. Who wants a week off work unless you're getting paid? Come for you. I like the name of my channel, so I'm keeping it. I still do travel videos here and there. Also, there's been videos made about me, so I'm definitely not going to change the name. Tell me in the Bible where it says you need to, do that shot. Topic for tomorrow. Clot shots. Yeah, no kidding. Good night, Jimmy. Good night. What have you been healthier since? Should we play it one more time, guys? What do you think? Or if we have any other final music requests or song requests before we hop off here, drop some super chats. Where have you traveled to? Mostly European countries, as the name says. I'll tell you where the Bible says that. Nowhere. By the way, Burnell, something very interesting. We're about to have a collab with a very big MAGA YouTuber, Just Jen Reacts. Hopefully, we can do the collab. She says she's down for it. Some people saw her comments this morning. She came through. She's a very nice person. She dropped a super chat. She said that she finds me entertaining. She likes the channel. So everyone go follow Just Jen Reacts as well on YouTube. Check her out because a collaboration might be happening soon. So that would be a really great live stream show. 449,000 subscribers. She's doing awesome. My mom even follows her on TikTok. Many people on YouTube have seen her before, so that would be an interesting live stream video. That's going to be an interesting collaboration, and I think we can have some great streams. I would love to do a stream with her, with me, and her, of course, a couple streams. But I would also like to bring in Tom Pepin TV, Dustley, the fellow with the long beard. But everyone pray for him as well. He's not feeling the best the last 2 days. A lot of people, Doesn't matter what state or where you're at exactly. A lot of people are getting sick. Ozzy Osbourne is definitely no request, Graham. Damn, Burnell, are you sure, man? We can at least play that song one more time. I really appreciate you, my guy. It is at the end of the month. And YouTube is a monthly thing. That's all I'm gonna say. You have this month and then you have that month. If you know, you know. But I really appreciate that super chat, man. Burnell, you're the man. You're the man. We'll play that song one more time. But Burnell, check out Just Jen Reacts. Check out Just Jen Reacts. Really, she's a great person. Her channel, she's all about Charlie Kirk. Her channel background says we are Charlie Kirk. Unbelievably ultra MAGA patriot who loves God, my country, children, and of course, constitutional rights that shall not be infringed upon. Definitely check her out. She's from Ohio, but she also loves the great state of Florida. You want me to drop the link? I'm on my laptop right now. I can drop the link to her channel. Here, hold on, guys. There's no problem for that. You don't even gotta leave. I'll take care of that for you, Burnell. Don't worry. There you go. There's her channel if you guys want to check her out. But we've been messaging back and forth on Twitter. This morning she dropped me a super chat and said that she found me very entertaining and she'd like to collab and stream together. So I'm very excited to speak with her, talk with her, have her on the channel. There's a couple other Democrats out there that have been, making videos about me. One guy specific, Sage Outcast, which his name is pretty much he is an outcast. He refuses to debate me. Just Jen Reacts is based. You guys seen her before? I see one person seen her. Yeah, also, we're doing a constitutional talk with time on my side on Sunday, so definitely check that out. She was dealing with the trolls. It was epic. Yeah, it was pretty epic, man. I just can't wait to stream with her. I think we'd make it a great collaboration. But another thing is, I think we should bring our buddy in Dustley, man. He's really a funny fella. He's really a funny fella. Thank you, Brunel. That is her channel. You met Jen before her YouTube? Really? That's really interesting. Time, are you in Ohio? Are you in Ohio? If you are a fellow Floridian, you will play the national anthem. Uh, that's all up to what Burnell wants, but I wanted to play the cop theme song one more time. Are you talking about the national anthem, or are you talking about the country's national anthem? Or are you talking about like some Florida national anthem, I mean? Government shutdown Wednesday. Figures. What you gonna do? Play anything mods request. Okay, man, I got you. Appreciate you. Salute, Burnell. Thank you for coming through. As always, you're a great man, and you're always fun to talk and discuss with. I hope you get to tune in and watch our collaboration with Jen. I hope to have a couple collaborations with her. And, yep, see you, man. Have a good one. What are the mods requesting? Anything the mods are requesting? Let's see. You heard it, guys. Burnell said that you guys get to decide what songs we play. We'll take one more final request. One more final request. Anything you guys got? Anything? Play the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, we'll play it, man. We'll play the national anthem. Let's see. Birthday. What the hell is this? This is Lana D. Ray? Hell yeah, Z-Dog. This is really sad. When you look up the national anthem, Lana Del Rey pops up. I'm trying to hear, the Star Spangled Banner. You see Dawn's early light. We do love the Constitution. We're just gonna play this and we're gonna hop off. There's only 7 people on the stream right now. But we still love the Marine Corps, don't get us wrong. We're playing the national anthem, man. We're playing the national anthem. Brave. Let's actually just get off this freaking green screen. That was fantastic, guys. But I'm going to hop off stream right now. He's not coming for me. But have a good one, everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys hit that like and subscribe button. We might have another debate tomorrow morning at 7 or 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to come check that out, you're welcome to. Peace out, guys. Peace out. Appreciate everyone coming in the stream. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys. Bye, Oron.